battle. Round 1. Capture the objective.
I'm out of here.
Taking off.
The objective is now active.
Time to leave my favorite dance.
I have your back. You're covered. Nano boost is charging. My ultimate is charging.
That should be better. Shield holding.
Nano boost almost ready.
Now.
I'm breaking this system.
Forward shield. Routing pellets forward there. Matrix activated. I'm gonna have to shoot you down.
Ahorita regreso.
Nerf this.
I'm on fire. I've got you. Looking for me? I'm out of here. I might need this later.
My ultimate is fully charged. Get in there.
You've taken damage. Ahorita regreso. Much better.
Nano boost is charged. Go. I'll keep you here.
I'm gonna shoot you down. Rally to me. Nerf this. Game on.
Now, where were we?
My ultimate is almost ready.
Telephone ready.
Score 0-1. Ready for battle.
She wants, and just giving her that much more health is really, really tough to try and deal with here. Which, grappling on Hanzo, we saw him playing on the anti-flank a lot, taking out Pepto a lot of the time, and that's going to be a good counter to anything that's going to try and give Tracer more health. It's just that huge burst damage.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like Grappley's trying to read it now with the McCree being able to easily take care of Tracer here, but it looks like Pepto's already switched off to Pharah.
Yeah, that hit scan could still be good against Pharah, but it's definitely a long range, especially with Biso taking out Grappley, really going to take him off the board here right as the control point is about to unlock. And with a support going down, Biso taking out another player on RPI. SNHU looking like they're going to get this first kill pretty uncontested here as soon as Spitfire goes down. There it is. They're going to start scoring some points here as RPI starts to gather back up. We're going to see a swap from Tam Phantom switching over to the Zenyatta. That's going to be really, really good at getting Pharah out of the sky. You just throw that Discord orb up on her and suddenly, she's taken so much tiny amounts of damage from everyone shooting at her from so far away, but those just getting ever so bigger is really, really going to hurt her. It's also going to help deal with the tanks a lot.
Yeah, I mean, Soldier's done a really good job previously of dealing with Pharah. And I think this is just going to, there goes the Discord orb. Just a matter of time. Yeah, there it goes.
And that extra damage plus the headshots from SNHU Legacy is going to be so much. Prince is going to be right on that to pick Pepto back up. The Spitfire in there is taking, it's doing a really good job of drawing fire from SNHU. Really using this opportunity. SNHU Legacy going down. Kresnik finds two with Rhino helping out, taking down Tam Phantom. They're going to go up and over. Just catching the stragglers out as SNHU regroup here, not even losing the points, still taking up points at 55% right now.
Kresnik just dominating this high ground here. That's the optimal position to be in as Soldier in this comp, especially against the other comp they're fighting against here.
Yeah, and having that high ground advantage is so important here. Pharah is already just going to always kind of have high ground advantage. The Kresnik as well on the Soldier is just going to benefit so much by staying up there. Dargo with a nice three-piece on that Diva Bomb. Gonna catch them all back in that corridor, force them to back off once again, and the timer is ticking down. We're at 85% right now, and RPI need to get in here for a last-ditch effort to contest. Otherwise, this could be map 1 going too soon.
Yeah, will they be able to contest here? Rhino's ulting. Being able to push them back, that's a lot of force movement. That's a lot of force movement.
He is acting as just a brick wall right now, keeping them
They
out
are
and they
not
can't
able.
touch.
Wow.
Super, super nice play there from SNHU on map 1, taking Helios. Did a really great job. We saw them round 1. It seemed like they were struggling a little bit just to deal with RPI, who had gotten a really solid hold on the first point. The moment that they took the hill, the game was over. Right? They
ult charge built like that. Wow.
The Nano Boost, the Nano Monkey is notoriously hard to deal with. And that's, when you have that and the other team doesn't, the other team running Wrecking Ball and Diva on both maps we saw there on Helios, as opposed to running the Winston, I think Wrecking Ball can be really good, but he's really, really hard to get the same effectiveness you can get out of Winston.
Yeah, and I mean, they're both really good picks here, but I'd say just Winston overall with Diva. Diva can cover for Winston, Winston can get out and cover for Diva. But while we're waiting here for them to switch over maps, we can talk about some stats here. Previously, I know SNHU we've seen their game last week. They were in a 3-0 match. They are 1-0 in the league right now. Why don't you tell us about...
RPI are... They had a little bit of a closer match last week, coming out of last week 2-3. So they are currently 1-0, but that doesn't really tell the full story here. This is a solid team that just had a close match last week, and we saw them have a little bit of trouble coming into Ilios here, but I would not be surprised at all to see them pick it back up in the next map here, which will be Eichenwald.
Yeah, two very formidable teams here, and Eichenwald is definitely a really fun map to get into here. I think we're going to see relatively the same comps from both teams. Maybe some a little less Wrecking Ball, but I don't think he's as good on this map, maybe.
The question here, mainly, I think, in terms of composition, is will SNHU try the Symmetra strategy again?
Yeah.
Or will they take the teleporter over this building here? Because this is, if you're not ready for it, it can just catch you like that, and suddenly you're really on an uphill battle in this map. So able to take it so fast. We're going to see Kresnik on the Symmetra. This is the only time I think I've ever seen him play Symmetra is here on Eichenwald to get this first point, go up over the wall. Now the question is, can RPI counterplay? Do they know that this is in SNHU's playbook? Have they done their homework? Have they figured all this out here? Because this is not an uncommon strategy we've seen from SNHU. So
it's just one of their trademarks. I feel like it's like sorry, I almost said Silva era. The
Hanzo era.
What map was that again?
That was on Dorado.
Dorado, yeah.
Kresnik is someone who's played this game since launch competitively, so he's definitely, kind of as like a playmaker. He's got a lot of old stuff in the books here. This is old. This is
dirty.
This is just coming in already. I'm not sure if they're ready for this or not. No one's going down quite yet, but that immortality is going to go down. SNHU taking a lot of damage all over the board here. Looks like RPI taking a lot of the positions you might have expected this coming out. And that Wrecking Ball coming in is going to knock down Kresnik. Will take down the Stigma on RPI. Rhino taking on SCG Legacy. Going to be 2 players down for RPI. And Rhino with a big pin is going to take down Spitfire with the help of Pepto, and that's going to be a very, very fast point on the board for SNHU as they capture the first point.
I've never actually seen that interaction before with Reinhardt and Wrecking Ball. That's a pretty decisive counter, I feel like.
Yeah, and we're going to see them just popping a teleport up here to try and threaten the high ground. Make them a little bit scared here. They just threaten them. Don't let them run too far out. And really just buy space for them to be able to push the card upwards and not let them get too much control of the high ground here.
Yeah, sadly they're going to have to sacrifice push speed with so many people dedicated to holding them back towards their spawn. It's only going to push 1/3 is Smash. Spitfire with big slam. It looks like the Symmetra is going to come down.
Big Earth Shatter there.
That was a huge shatter.
And Spitfire is still alive. He did manage to get out of there, but the moment he came up there, he slammed everyone down and then hopped out. And then that was exactly when SNHU went in when they had identified that Spitfire went back out. And they were able to get huge value off of that there, taking in, I think, 3 members of RPI down.
Yeah, that was really well played from SNHU there. It looks like they're going to be able to push it almost all the way up to the door here. Might even be able to cap it. Blizzard coming out from Pepto.
That's just going to deny so much area there. Not let them
they can't touch it.
And that is, I think, going to be at point 2 on the board for SNHU. They're just continuing to steamroll it up along, now at 5:55, pushing on to point 3. And this point can be a little bit tricky to hold. If SNHU are able to get the cart around this corner, it's going to be really tough for RPI. RPI do have a lot of misses over here. We're seeing Mine come out from Spitfire right now. Rhino doing a good job at clearing those out in the front line. Buying a lot of spaces. Grappling taking that piece is going to be a big support kill. Pepto and Rhino fire right back and take down both of RPI's supports. Dragon Arrow not going to hit anyone. Prince does go down, support down for SNHU. So both teams currently without healing as their supports try to get back as fast as possible. And we see Gargo just barely living out of that fight. Fortunately, not getting DMS was very important in the top. It's going to allow him to come back into this next fight with full effectiveness. And Rhino, I think we could potentially see another big Earth Shatter come out here. As RPI don't really have any sort of way to prevent them from this popping up the Earth Shatter. They don't have any shields to go down to stop this. So Rhino is able to kind of just run in here for free if he gets space. And there we go. We see 3 get caught there by that Earth Shatter as RPI just go down, getting swatted like flies by Rhino here as he chases down Fireflame on a 15-player kill streak. Rhino I don't think it's died once this match. And now SNHU, they've got the cart around the corner here, and RPI are really going to have a hard time just being able to get out of their spawn.
They're going to try to just touch the point here, be able to get them off. Seeing a lot of switches here, just more of a, get out there. Pepto's Blizzard is going to freeze Spitfire on the point here. Going to take him out, be able to push it to the end. And that goes round 1 to SNHU.
Yeah, on payload, it can be really disheartening if you have to attack round 2 and round 1, they got 3 points. They delivered the payload all the way to the end.
That's a win.
It's really tough to try and contest that, especially when SNHU still have 4 minutes on the clock.
Yeah.
Even if RPI get the cart all the way down to the end, if they don't really get that huge momentum that SNHU got from the Symmetra teleport, as well as taking the high ground on the second point, the way they were able to kind of steamroll the point forward, it could be really tough for them, even if they get it all the way to the end of this track. The rounds after that, they're going to be so low on time.
Yeah, they got so much time to work with here, even if RPI does push it into overtime here. Getting 3 points on round 2.
Attackers incoming in 30 seconds.
From SNHU, this is a pretty standard composition we see them run here on Eichenwald. Kresnik on the Torbjorn. They're going to be setting up that Sentry just to do pretty decent passive damage throughout an entire team fight. As well as that Molten Core, we've seen do a really great job at denying space on the cart here. And I actually don't know what he's doing here. Did these fall back down?
Do they?
I don't know actually. If these fall back down, he could be setting up a volley out there. That's interesting. I am interested to see exactly how that works, if we can see it. Yeah, they are coming back down.
They are coming down.
I don't think they hit anyone, but RPI, advancing forward, get cut off by the Maywall, and their tank drops back down. The Mortality Field forced out, and it's going to go down. Dargo taking it out, forcing some utility out of RPI there. But they were able to get through. They're now pushing on through the point.
Yeah, this is a really hard point to just defend in general. Wall almost splitting Rhino off from his team there. That would have been really bad for SNHU.
SNHU falling back into the house back here to try and get some cover from RPI. They don't have any progress on the point yet, but
look at that wall.
They're able to zone off the Zarya as well, and they find 2 quick kills, taking out Grapply and Spitfire. Rhino does go down, but the Bat Piece window coming up is going to do so much. The RPI throw 1 back on their own. SNHU starting to gain a lot of momentum now, pushing back against RPI. This is certainly a much faster, or much slower first point than we saw in our first round here. And this Blizzard coming out here is going to make it really hard for them to get out. Pepto does get walled off, but he's able to wall right back and stop reinforcements from coming in. They take down 3 players right now. RPI just do not have very much time to work with here compared to SNHU in their first round, already down to 2.5 minutes. And at the moment here, we saw a pretty decisive hold from SNHU. We saw, RPI did not get a single sliver on that point.
Yeah, it looks like Kresnik is switching to Reaper here, possibly going for some flanks.
RPI are currently trying to take the high ground right here as they come around the corner, all pushing together. That Diva Bomb flying through is going to be blocked, but forced them to turn around. Rhino goes in for a charge and takes out the other Reinhardt. Goes down himself, but Kresnik going to find Spitfire in the meantime. That's both RPI tanks down, and their DPS and supports are falling one by one right after. Pepto does get walled off, but not a huge deal without RPI's front line there. Now 1:45 left on the clock for RPI on this attack. SNHU with another really great hold are going to make this pretty tough for RPI. They're going right around the tower. They haven't tried pushing from this angle yet here, but Rhino potentially in a good position here. If they can take out the Reinhardt, there's a big Earth Shatter come up, and that's, I think, 3 that just went down there. A pin coming through. Rhino just cleaning up with the help of Dargo, Pepto, the rest of the team. A full team wipe on RPI there. SNHU, a fantastic hold once again, and RPI are down to a minute.
are they going to be able to pull this one back?
They've got 5 ultimates to work with here.
They got 5 ultimates. That is true.
They're very impactful ultimates. They got an Earth Shatter to work with here, but Pepto in position for a Blizzard could completely shut down this push if they're not ready for it here. And the Blizzard coming through, they blocked off the Zarya, but the rest of the team is going on the other side of the wall. The Baptiste wall coming up is going to do. Oh, it's going to help their damage coming out there. Rhino going down early. Exchanging for Spitfire, but Biso finds RPI's Lucio, taking down a support. That Immortality Field being forced out. Biso taking it down before taking down the enemy Baptiste as well. Prince finds the Reinhardt, and the rest of RPI are going down. Forced back, only 30 seconds left on the clock. This is RPI's last push.
They're going to have to start just touching point here to be able to stay in the game. They do got 1/3 of the point captured, though. So they only have 2/3 of the normal time to capture. So, but it looks like Krez almost has ult built here.
Krez, they don't know he's there. He could come in for a very, very big pick, especially with the Baptiste in the back going in on them. Now finds the Lucio, going for the Baptiste, finds him as well. Actually does not find him, but the rest of his team are taking down or being taken down by RPI. RPI has a very solid push. It's just Biso left, and I don't think he's there. RPI are going to be able to capture the point in overtime. They have 2.5 minutes to make it to point 2 now. I think SNHU had 5 minutes going into this, so definitely a huge cut in time, but RPI were able to force their way through that first point.
Yeah, I mean, they were able to work with overtime there to capture it, so in the end, it really just matters if you're able to capture the point, I guess, because that was a very decisive push there. Looks like they're going to do the same thing that SNHU did. Is not working out as well.
Spitfire's going to get staggered super hard right there, and now RPI, this is a big stretch where they can kind of push the cart for free, but SNHU suddenly have a lot of room to try and slow them down, especially with Kresnik in this really good flanking position with a Death Blossom available.
Yeah, making sure that he's not heard by the enemy. They have no idea that he's there. Just waiting around.
I think they saw him.
They know.
They know he's there now. So they're definitely going to be aware of that being a possibility, that Death Blossom going out. But we do have actually Spitfire making a swap over to Roadhog. Unexpected, for sure. A little scary there. Kresnik almost getting hooked. Pepto able to find the enemy Baptiste. Now Kresnik coming in. Looking for a chance to pop this Death Blossom. Really trying to push this front line as hard as possible and just get out of line of sight from this Roadhog. He's going to pop the Death Blossom here. Not doing too much damage, but weakening up the supports a little bit. Finding the Lucio. Finding the Reinhardt. May goes down right after. Spitfire does find Prince. But the rest of RPI's team are going to go down here. That Roadhog switch is really interesting. Roadhog is a very, very unorthodox pick in organized play. And I think it might be to try and catch out some of SNHU's flankers and try and you know, get some lucky picks that way. But you really do deny your team a lot of utility by picking the Roadhog.
Yeah, and I mean, that's essentially what it is, though, is it's just for picks. I feel like his hook is really good at doing that.
This could be a pick right here. Looking at Biso, finds him. Taking down a support is big, but he's now on the cart alone. Actually, with the help of Grapply, popping the Deadeye here. Not going to find anyone else with it. That shield blocking him off. He's almost dead. He goes down to Rhino, and now Spitfire going down as well. A nice little attempt at a push, but not going too well as SNHU was quick to shut that down.
Oh, he's taking them all the way here.
Rhino finding a pin there. Able to take down the support as well, and Pepto is able to 1v1 RPI's Reinhardt as he charges in. That's going to be map 2 going to SNHU after a amazingly solid attacking round from them. RPI, I mean, it's just really hard to try and compete with the other team when they've got, 5 minutes on the clock, no matter how good your attack is.
Yeah, and I mean, we saw them do really well on that last capture of the first point, the last push. They had such a strong push. This was an amazing ultimate for Rhino,
he killed
by the
2
way.
people with the hammer,
Yeah.
slamming it down.
Yeah.
That's got to be my favorite change, is that Reinhardt, when he uses his ultimate, if you're right in front of him, you die.
Yeah, I mean, like, you'd think you would.
Yeah.
It's a massive hammer, and he's just right down on your head, conk.
Yeah, well, that was a really great map there from SNHU. This is a best of 5, so we're at set point for SNHU up against RPI here. Our next map will be Havana.
Very exciting.
Which is going to be, this is going to be a little bit tough for RPI here. SNHU are obviously feeling really confident right now. Their morale has got to be up after taking those first 2 matches very, very decisively. Whereas RPI, it can be really easy to just get that tilt after you lose 2 matches in a row. Going into match point on the 3rd, it's tough.
I mean, if I was Spitfire, I wouldn't be tilted because landing that Roadhog hook, that would untilt me immediately. That was
hooking Biso
that was
there.
pretty. That looked pretty fun.
Yeah, I think that just might just be having a little bit of fun.
Yeah, and that was really. I liked it a lot.
Coming out of Eichenwald here, something that really concerns me about RPI's compositions is that they don't have any shields. They've been running the Diva and the Wrecking Ball and the Roadhog.
No, last
they did
map
have a Reinhardt.
they switched from flex to main.
Yeah, they did eventually pick up a Reinhardt, but before they had that, they were really losing out a lot to enemy Earth Shatters because they just had no way to deal with them here.
Yeah.
So interested to see if we have, if SNHU pick up a Reinhardt as well on this map. This map's a little bit weird in terms of how you hold the first point. Likely going to see SNHU on defense holding literally right outside of the enemy spawn. And just trying to get Mei walls up to try and isolate them as soon as they walk out, and just burn as much time as possible that way. Just don't even let them leave their spawn.
Yeah, and I mean, we've seen Pepto do it before. Mei's really good at doing that, just denying a lot of space. You got to be careful 24/7 when playing against Mei. I feel like she's really strong offense right now, and they're gonna work with Symmetra here too, which is gonna be pretty interesting. I think the idea is that you just spawn camp them, like you said.
Yeah. What's really nice about Mei is that she can just run at you, and if you can't kill her in time, if her team's with her, you just die.
Yeah.
And Blizzard is so good at denying so much space. You just can't. It's just a big circle. You can't stand there anymore.
So walking out of spawn is the worst thing you could do right here.
So Josh is going to get caught out there, frozen as well. The entire SNHU team jumping on them there. The rest of RPI is coming out of the side doors here. We see the Roadhog coming back as well. The hook missing. He is free to just run up on Dargo, taking him down with the missiles here in the Zenyatta. Falling back, going to get taken out by Pepto. This spawn camp is already turning out to be very well. Or to be going very well, but that Wrecking Ball is going behind enemy lines right now.
Yeah, I mean, normally you want to step out of spawn, but this map just doesn't seem set up for attackers. Ball is behind the entire team, just trying to get their attention. Pay attention to me.
Yeah, he is coming in. There's a good chance to disrupt here and going back into his spawn.
Yeah.
Grapply is able to find Prince. Taking out a support is really going to make it hard for SNHU to sustain the spawn camp here, and Kresnik taking a lot of damage as well.
Yeah, that's scary.
There's not enough healing to go around with just Biso on the Lucio left, and he's taken a lot of damage from Grapply as well. FCG Legacy taking him down. SNHU with no healers on the front line now. We're going to see Rhino go down. There's Deadeye coming out just to deny space from the enemy. Dargo demeched, likely going to go down here as well. Kresnik going down. Also, Pepto throwing the Blizzard out, just looking to die as fast as possible. And now we're going to see SNHU switch to their actual composition to hold on this map.
Yeah. We're going to see the switch off of the Symmetra, and Pepto is going to opt for Hanzo, which is a really good pick for this map. I feel
Rhino switching off of the Reinhardt is going to hop over to Orisa just to get them, just put a bigger turret up somewhere.
Yeah, it looks like Josh and Spitfire kind of switch roles of main tank and off tank. Going to see Spitfire on the Roadhog again, dealing a lot of damage, landing these nasty hooks. And Josh is going to go on to the Wrecking Ball, which is really cool. Oh, Rhino.
Tam got melted there. Rhino with a very nice pull, able to take down a support. Now the rest of RPI starting to fall back to the cart. They're all grouped up together, and I do see a Diva Bomb is ready. That Baptiste window is going to open up, allow SNHU to do a lot of damage here. Pepto taking out Grapply, and Dargo flying up to the high ground, forcing Josh down. Is now the most important thing here for SNHU is just trying to control this high ground as much as possible. This Diva Bomb could do a really good job at that if the situation up there gets too dire. And the Hanzo as well, if Pepto with the Dragon Arrow ready, could do a really great job at that. Not gonna pop the self-destruct as he goes down. And Kresnik able to find FCG Legacy, just trying to hold their ground as much as possible here. The cart hasn't moved in a little bit. Spitfire starting to move up on his own with it, but a minute left on the clock. Baptiste window and minefield coming out from RPI as Grappling and Spitfire find 2 quick kills. That Transcendence coming out, just keep them alive, contest for as long as possible. Rhino pulling them in. Now Spitfire is just soaking up damage out there. That Reaper trying to go for Kresnik. Josh in position to try and protect him for as much as possible. That
Big bomb.
Kresnik there just stealing that quick Reaper kill away from the Diva bomb there. Just putting one right between his eyes before he can blow up. As SNHU successfully hold that push. RPI getting pushed back with only 25 seconds left on the clock now. Cart is not too far away from the first point here, but this is RPI's last push.
It is definitely doable, and I mean, we've seen them do it before. I feel like this is... I think they can make this push here because it's all about the last second overtime here. They're able to get out of this choke point here.
You see Transcendence come out.
Transcendence going to push to the point. Bob coming out.
Kresnik popping Bob as well is going to deny some of that space over there. But Pepto finding a kill, 2 kills as well on both of the DPS from RPI. They need to get down there and contest for as long as possible. That Immortality field down there is going to keep the tanks alive for as long as possible. That pull coming in, just going to group them up even more as Biso and Rhino find 2 quick kills, taking down big targets. Pepto will go down, but Dargo will find a support. And now RPI have no one left on the point. The timer is ticking down, and they can't touch a amazing hold from SNHU, completely locking them out of the first point.
They were really close to touching that, though. And, I mean, they played really well in that first round. But as we go into second round, are we going to see them do the same thing that SNHU did and just force SNHU into their spawn? Maybe they're going to be the aggressor this time, the bully.
RPI need to try and spawn camp SNHU here. And if that's a strategy that they're not familiar with or that they haven't practiced too much, this round could be over in less than a minute. If SNHU are able to get out of their spawn, this is going to be a really, really tough hold. Oh, you're right. They only need to push to 82 meters here, do they? Yeah. They don't even need to get to the first point, just right before it. So SNHU, I mean, I know they seem to be very, very comfortable on this map here. I feel like we've seen them deal with the spawn camp strategy very well before. Can you shoot out of this window here? You can't shoot out of it, but you can see out of it. So you can see their team composition as they come up to the spawn. Or you can see if they're even going to spawn camp at all, which it looks like they will be coming up here. That's why we saw them sitting in that side building for the majority of the setup time there before coming out. And yeah, now sitting in this little crevice here, we have a largely similar team composition. Spitfire still sticking on the Roadhog. Coming out now. Let's see if SNHU are able to break out. Coming in, Rhino's going to get hooked right away, taking a lot of damage but getting healed right back up to full. Kresnik finding a very, very fast pick on Grapply. Each of these picks is worth so much, and Pepto getting free from spawn is big, but he gets taken out by FCG Legacy. Now a big anti-heal grenade is going to hit 3 of the defenders here as Rhino and Dargo set up a crossfire here. Prince helping them out with some armor as well. SNHU so far doing a very, very good job. A big anti-heal again. The Immortality field going down, the Reinhardt going down, as well as the Lucio. Looks like SNHU will be breaking out here as Rhino continues to just chase down the backline. He will go down, but not before taking out the Baptiste. SNHU pushing the cart back out. I think we're probably going to see some hero swaps from them. You're seeing Prince switch over to the Baptiste to try and enable some more outgoing damage here. Kresnik going to stick on the Widowmaker. This very, very big open sight lines here, so it's really, really good for the snipers. The point that they need to push to is a really, really open space, and I feel like this is the point of the Widowmaker here. Also, I feel like Widowmaker's really good at contesting Hanzo. Yeah, those snipers are really, really good at picking each other off. RPI here with some hero switches. We're going to see them switch over to the Sigma and the Wrecking Ball. Just to try and hold back here for as long as possible. The SNHU are already pushing up on the final point here. They have 2.5 minutes left. Rhino going down is going to be a little bit bad for their push here. And Kresnik goes down, not able to get the pick on Grapply. Grapply also found a second pick there as well. SNHU getting pushed back are going to need to regroup here as RPI continue to hold. There's 2 minutes and 20 seconds left on SNHU's clock right now. It's plenty of time to work with here. We're going to see Kresnik swap over to the Soldier. Pepto and Dargo do have ultimates available to try and work with here. That Dargo bomb is going to go out here, but that shield is not good enough to protect two of them. Pepto finding a support as well, finding a tank and another DPS, almost a full team wipe. It's just Spitfire left. He is the best candidate to try and contest here for as long as possible, but SNHU are doing they could just be able to focus him down super fast, and they are able to. Game 3 is going to go to SNHU. That's going to be the set.
Yeah, GG's very, very well played from both teams here. I'm kind of wondering who's going to have to play the game here. Yeah, that's what I thought.
Rhino did a really great job at just locking it down these pushes. The pull is so good at just grouping people up for damage from your teammates, and especially, you know, when you have targets like Roadhog where you can really just lay into them, Orisa makes Roadhog's life so hard.
Yeah.
She just gets to sit there and shoot him and take less damage and not get pulled.
You can't get pulled.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, she's just a barrier, a brick wall that Roadhog can't really touch. And I feel like that's the point of that pick into that comp that they were running there, which is not your average comp you see every day, but it was working out for RPI in most of the ways.
We saw some moments where that composition really shined, and that Roadhog didn't end up being as big of a detriment as, you know, you see the Roadhog pop up and your instinctual reaction is like, ooh, I don't know about that.
Yeah.
But it worked out in a couple of ways, and it's really good for getting picks, which is great. But that is going to be the end of our set for tonight. That's going to be all of our Overwatch as well. Thank you so much for watching. GG's to RPI. And thank you to everyone for coming out in the arena as well. If you want any more updates or information, or to see any clips here from the stream, you can check out our Twitter, which the user handle has changed. It is now SNHU Esports instead of Esports SNHU. So
As it should be.
Yeah,
go to
@SNHU Esports. It's all rebranded and everything. So even if you're already following it, check it out. It just looks cooler now.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also Instagram as well. I'm being yelled at by our social media guy. I believe it is also SNHU Esports. I think that we just got that up and running recently, as well as we believe you have other plans coming up in the near future for more social media stuff. So definitely keep an eye on our existing social media channels for updates on that. But that is all for us tonight. Thank you so much for watching, and enjoy the rest of your day.